talk about how we met.
Okay.
Met on Bumble. When I just moved. Three of us have experienced loss so far, and it's very different. Some people, even if you know your friend to the bone, you're not gonna know how they're gonna react when they lose someone.
Hi guys, welcome to Just Everyday People. My name is Lalo Jesus Baby. Thank you again. This is season 2, so thank you for staying with us. I know there's been a bit of a hiatus, a transition between season 1 and season 2, but we're here now. We're back, and we're back with my friend Edwan. Bang, nice to meet you. I mean, I would call us a friend.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I guess there's
stages.
Still more stages. So at this point, what is it? Acquaintances to friends?
I don't know. You know, I actually looked it up the other day. Like, where do you go from acquaintance to friendship? There's supposed to be like a middle part, but actually the definition said acquaintances are even closer than, I think there are like 3 stages, but then it goes from acquaintance to friendship. But I don't think acquaintance is the right category.
Okay.
A close acquaintance.
Alright, cool. Don't worry. At some point, we'll get to friend. So you're a scientist, and you're the host of your show as well, ChitchatwithEnD, which you do with your friend.
I wouldn't call it a show. What is a show?
Instagram
but it's
show.
Obviously not as serious as Just Everyday People.
I mean, you all start from
Because you
somewhere.
have all the props and everything. Like we're still just playing around. Maybe at some point we'll take.
You have a following though.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, exactly. You have a following. You have an audience. I'd imagine you guys have a theme, an idea. So
yeah, but it's not constructed. It's just like, do you know what? We're just gonna sit and whatever happens, and I kind of like it that way because it's natural.
And too much structure is not
Yeah, like if you do everything like, then it doesn't feel natural.
Okay.
I guess.
Interesting. I guess a little different for me because I don't know. I think I work better with structure. So for me, I think I would prefer it. Okay, so if I'm gonna have a show, okay, I need to know what I'm doing, when I'm doing, who I'm doing it with, what is it gonna look like, have that idea in my mind. Yeah, I guess it just works different.
I guess it's just because I'm doing it with my friends, so we just wake up and play around. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we're gonna get to know you a bit more, get to know your story a bit more, and then I guess from there we're gonna try and flesh out to see maybe some things that I feel like maybe you can, I don't know, that can help other people. I guess in maybe finding their story and finding their journey as well. So you're from Cameroon. Can you tell me like what it's like growing up in Cameroon? You know, as a young girl.
I wouldn't say I grew up in Cameroon because there was a transition from Nigeria and then Cameroon, like being in Cameroon or Bamenda basically, which is my hometown.
Bamenda.
Sorry, why are you what you saying? Why are you rapping Bamenda? It's just Bamenda.
Okay.
Like I came back, all my parents and I came back just in time for secondary school, and secondary school was boarding school, which is like 9 months in school, 3 months at home.
Okay.
So what about really
your
like
childhood, like when you were younger?
Up. That's what I'm saying. Like I can't remember growing up in Cameroon.
Oh, okay.
I can remember being in Cameroon. I can remember growing up in boarding school, but like I have a completely different experience from someone who actually grew up and was exposed to.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say.
To life in Cameroon.
Life in Bamenda. Cameroon is too broad because you know we have the English and the French, so the French speaking Cameroonians definitely have a different upbringing to us.
Wow, within the same country as well.
It's just like being in the UK. Whatever community you find yourself in with a particular culture, you would have a different outlook as opposed to someone else.
I think in the UK is a bit more like villages, towns, and then cities.
But then you also have racial upbringing as well.
Oh yeah. True.
Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. Different. So you mentioned boarding school. So you spent quite a lot of time in boarding school. What was that like?
7 years. It was like
Wow.
prepping for adulthood
Mm.
because you have to stick to structure, you have to be organized. I think every time I look at me now and who I am as when it comes to like just structuring my life, it's I pay a lot of gratitude to boarding school because
Really?
yeah, you have a schedule.
Yeah.
You have to be very conscious about time management. You have to be conscious about just yourself because you have your things that you have to look after. You have to manage your food, you have to manage your money because you have to be in school for like 3-4 months
Time as well.
before you replenish your stock again. You have to look after yourself because obviously you're in a community of other people.
Could you work?
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everything is structured from waking up, prayers. Everyone has a designated role to clean up around the school. And
No, I mean work, like work to earn money, like maybe
no,
little.
no.
Oh, you couldn't work.
Oh, not while in school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But people did like business, but it was illegal. People did business in one way or the other, but like you can't. It's very enclosed.
Oh,
like
okay,
it's all
okay.
fenced up, and you're not
Got
leaving.
you. Got you.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
in the school. You're living in the school with everyone else, with people as old as 18 and as young as 10, 9. So it's like from secondary school all the way. So it was like kind of getting you ready for adulthood. I would say.
Okay. I always wanted to go to boarding school.
It's literally the best time of my life.
Was it
While
really?
I was in boarding school, I hated it obviously because you feel like you're in prison.
The
you
structure,
want to go
yeah.
out. You want to go and meet your family. You feel like there's more life outside. But I always wanted to go back. Like once I got that out of my system. I'm looking
How long do you
to
think
go
that
back
took?
to school. What took?
You know, like actually getting used to that system and I guess not missing home as much.
I think I preferred being at school because all my friends were at school.
Oh, okay.
So because you spend so much time at school, you really don't have time to make friends out of school when you come back on holidays.
Okay.
So you're looking forward to going back to meet your friends because that's all you know.
Okay.
No one around you can understand. Like we create our own like lingua franca. So you're looking forward to go back to school to be able to say those things, play around with your friends because that's the life you know for 9 months.
Wow.
So yeah, when I came back from school, always I'll just be at home. I never had friends out of, like all the friends I have are all from boarding school. None of them outside.
I've always thought about the idea of boarding school, but for me it's kind of been bittersweet because, so like you mentioned, 9 months out of 12 months you're at school. So that's 9 months you're away from your family growing up. So that's 9 months out of 12 months that someone else is kind of molding, shaping your mindset, your ideas, ideologies and stuff. How do you think it kind of impacted your relationship with your parents and family?
Not at all. Because obviously as a parent you have to know what kind of education you want your kids or what kind of exposure you want your kids to have. It was Catholic.
Okay.
My parents are Catholic. It had a track record for academic excellence. My parents wanted that for me.
Okay, that's two things.
What else? It exposed me to like the higher people in society as well as because it's not just rich kids that go to boarding school. It's like you can literally find like a single mom who has saved enough just to send her child to school. So there's that balance where you're exposed to different social classes, different people, different
thoughts.
And then obviously religious because it's Catholic. I never had a strange relationship with my parents because when we come back on holidays, it's
3 months.
Just my mom. It's still just my mom. It's still just my dad. It's still just my siblings. It was never like for me, anyways. Maybe for another family, it was like I don't know. But for me, it was we have always been just as close.
Okay. I'm not sure how I would have. I think maybe thinking about it now, I'm not sure if I would be as comfortable sending my child.
You just have to know where you're sending your child to. Because there are other boarding schools that don't have a good reputation as some other ones. I really liked mine because it wasn't... There are the bougie boarding schools where you go and you see the Prime Minister's kids and stuff like that. Where if you don't have certain discussions with your kids, they might feel.
But this is the point. At what point do you get to have those discussions with your children?
Which is what I'm saying. You have to vet those schools before you send your kids to them.
But this is a
because
school
it's
of
already
different
known
minds.
the cultures in those schools. So we already know the cultures in the schools where the prime minister's kids are.
Okay.
We know the cultures in the schools where the other, mine was just such a mix. Like you could see very rich people and you could see very poor people and you could see middle class. So it was just, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I loved my school. But then I knew about the other schools. I was grateful that my parents never sent me to those other schools. But you just, as a parent, you just have to know. And you don't have to let your child be in there for 7 years. You can just send them in for like maybe the first 5 years to kind of just know how to manage themselves. Like I did. Some people did that. Or if you're wary about your child, like I said, there's kids as young as 9.
Yeah, 10,
they
9,
can
10.
stay at home with you till they're 13 and then go out into boarding schools to kind of like develop all the skills. I would definitely send my kids to boarding school.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. All of them or?
Everyone, every single one of them. Some kids don't take it well, so you just have to know.
I guess so. Yeah, study the child as well, just to make sure this is probably the best environment for them. Because for some people, they really do feel like they need that family love to be able to get the best out of them. But I guess if it worked for you, it worked for you.
Someone like my brother didn't like being enclosed, so 2 years and he was like, nah, this is not for me. Wow. And he got out and he still flourished wherever he went to. Okay. So it's just based on the kid.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Boarding school. So when you were quite young, you experienced personal loss, loss close to you.
How do you? Quite young, not when I was young.
So when I say young, I'm thinking anything under 18, under 21.
No, it wasn't even 18.
You went 18? It also was after 18. Oh, okay.
It was definitely in adulthood.
Okay. Well, okay, so I guess I bring it up because it's one area of our lives, amongst other things, that we're not really taught how to deal with.
You can't teach someone.
This is the point. It's almost hard to teach someone loss, the idea of loss, because even in adulthood right now, having people who have lost, mothers and friends and stuff like that, how do you speak to them? How do you? I mean, for me, I was quite close to the mom as well, to the person who passed. How do you reconcile that? How do you, I guess work through it? Do you do it on your own or friends and family? So for you, how do you think you handled it?
It's personality based. Like you cannot. Well, anyways, in my experience, I've only, for the people that I surround myself with, I think just about 3 of us have experienced loss so far, and it's very different. Some people, even if you know your friend to the bone, you're not gonna know how they're gonna react when they lose someone.
Very true.
And it depends on who they've lost as well. So you just have to be there, be present, and take away things that they would normally handle on their own. You don't even need to ask them, can I? You just go ahead and do it, and just let them be in that space where they're either, or whatever phase they are in the grieving stages. If they're, just let them go through that, but be available, like literally available. Make yourself available even when they say, I just want some time. Just be ready to up and leave or up and
so that's when you're helping someone else deal with loss.
You can't sit someone down and say, when you lose someone, this is, you can never. You can never.
But for you, how did you work through it? Did you feel like talking was the best way for you?
No.
Was it internalizing? Was it just
you never worked
reminiscing
through
on the memories, or was it just let time heal it?
I don't think you ever. Well, I never let myself work through it. If I say so.
You just carried on with life.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know how I have been able to deal at all. So it really just happens. Like you decide to not let it be the center of your day or your life. You give yourself time. You feel your emotions whenever they creep up on you. And yeah, maybe I'm not the best person to talk about dealing with loss, but you just don't. I think the center point is do not let it overwhelm you, overcome you, or like give you a negative perspective. Because I think loss after you've understood what it is kind of positive. Because in my case, I was like, and now I'm gonna live for two. But I lost someone so young.
So now you have more of a purpose. Okay.
Now I'm gonna live for two. I'm not gonna restrict myself. Or I'm just gonna make sure that life is lived to its fullest, and that was the resolution that I took from that. And it's working out so fine so far.
That's beautiful. Wow, thanks for sharing, man. No, it really is, because I guess some people deal with it. So for me, I think I leaned a lot on my faith when a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, experienced loss. Because I guess the first question is, why God? Why did you let this happen?
Oh, I'm still asking that question.
Do you understand? So things like that. But then I had to work through with my faith, just understanding that loss, especially in a Christian perspective, is really moving from one place to another. It's not really dying or losing as you're dead. It's okay. So in one place at this time, then you pass to heaven. God willing, to heaven. So it's not really that we lose them; they're just somewhere else, still alive. Just in a different perspective. So that I get a bit of comfort knowing that at least they're in a better place, and they're not suffering as much. So I kind of leaned heavily on my faith, but obviously loss is still loss, and it was still very hard. But yeah, thanks for sharing, man. Thank you.
Sure.
So, I guess at some point you came to UK. What was this, after uni or after secondary school?
After bachelor's.
So first degree. Okay, so after your first degree, did you study science as well? Okay, so for science, is it something you've always wanted to do? No. So what was your passion when you were younger?
Younger would have been, I loved singing.
Yeah.
I still do, anyways. Love singing. I always have inner monologues because I'm very quiet.
Very, very.
So I always acted. I always wrote. So I would literally write a whole play in my head and act it out all by myself.
Wow.
In my head. I guess I had imaginary friends, whatever. So it was writing, singing, call it acting. But yeah, in Cameroon, you go through, I don't know how the system in the UK is, but like your first 3 years are like general education, so you learn everything, the arts and the sciences, and then your
secondary school. Okay.
And then when you get to what we call Form 3, you have to segregate, so you have to choose predominantly science subjects or predominantly arts subjects. Obviously, the African parents.
Yeah.
They want you to. My parents are all sciences, like in the sciences.
Okay.
So they wanted me. I don't know why they were fixated on me needing to do science, because my brothers, I guess, did what they wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
But
did they do science as well?
No.
Okay.
It's just two of us that did sciences.
Okay.
Yeah. So, when you get to that stage, you have to segregate. My parents wanted me to do sciences. I don't know why. And I was already shining through in the arts, like with English literature, English language itself, writing and editing in the school magazine. And I was like, this is my clear path. I'm definitely going to do science. Like, I really love literature. That was what I wanted to do. But if you do science, you can't do literature, because literature is considered a core art subject.
History, so you can't mix them?
You can't mix history, literature. What else? I think those are the two core ones. I can't remember. And if you're doing science, you're going to do the core biology, chemistry.
All of them?
Yeah, physics.
Wow.
So you can't mix them. And the curriculum is in such a way that when you get to your O levels, you're going to do from, I think, 8 or 9 to 12 subjects. So it's already made in such a way that you can't put in.
You can't just add
else.
more because it's so congested already.
And the timetable as well. You can't. You probably be having a biology class when the literature class is going on. So you could never be able to mix the two.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to, under so much pressure, I had to do the sciences. And my mentor at the time, who was the English teacher, was like, you know what, you're an all-round student, do sciences. You can always be a doctor that writes, but you can never be a writer who is
A doctor.
a doctor.
Got you.
Because you can always do that on the side. So go through the sciences. You're an all-round student. You do great. We're gonna continue, because I used to do a lot of poetry.
Okay.
We're gonna continue editing the magazine, writing poetry, and all of that.
Wow, so
And
you were
you're gonna
really
do well.
deep into the creative
Very,
bag
very.
of writing, singing.
Yeah,
Wow, okay.
I really was. And after that, unfortunately, he passed as well. So that mentorship stopped.
Oh, man. While you were studying?
Yeah, while I was already in the sciences.
Okay.
The mentorship stopped. Me going deeper and deeper into my creative side also just vanished. There was no one around to like foster that besides myself. So yeah, I think that's how it died down, and then I had to just carry the sciences all through, and I've always carried it reluctantly.
Even up to today?
Yeah, definitely.
So you don't
I mean, it's all right when you walk
It's a
around
job.
saying that you're a scientist.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
so
you get that.
smart. How did you do it? Oh, only smart people do it. But no, smart people as well do other things. So doing the sciences, it's just a means to an end.
Right now. So do you think you've been able to, I don't know, tap into that creative side of yourself, or do you think you're doing a bit of that with your show?
With the show.
Yeah.
I did that a bit. So there's, if you know about Cameroon right now, we have a conflict. I had to stay for a year without going to school because of that, and it gave me the opportunity to kind of just step back from that science trail. And then I had to go into more. I created my own blog, joined a fashion blog as a writer and editor, joined a magazine as a writer and editor as well. So I kind of tapped into that, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years afterwards, and it was really good. I remembered, like, I really know how to do this. This is what I want to do, and it just revived it again.
Okay.
But since then, I think probably just the show has kind of reminded me of it again. And I don't know what other avenues would arise for me to do more writing and more singing, but I think I've kind of lost the singing because I haven't really been practicing my vocals or anything. Yeah.
Damn.
But we'll see. Life is still long.
Yeah, it's still going.
Life is still going. Let's see where it goes.
You thank God it's not completely, it's not completely dead. So now let's go to the show. So your show, where did the idea come from? You're obviously doing it with your friend.
It came from nowhere. Oh, my friend and I, if you go on our page, we talk about how we met.
Okay.
Met on Bumble. When I just moved. And one of the things that we kind of had in common, or when we were chatting, was like she talked about fashion, YouTube, and stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, these are things I've always wanted to do.
Okay.
And then we never, even when we started becoming closer and closer friends, we never really like structured out, oh, we wanted to do this, let's do it. It was
Wait, you met on Bumble?
Mm-hmm.
Is Bumble an app for friends or is it dating?
It's an app for friendship, dating, and networking.
Oh, for real?
This is
I
not
did not know.
by Bumble.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so you can decide to turn off the dating side of it and do just friends.
Just friends. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sorry.
Really,
sorry.
I don't know if it's really good because I've only had the one friend from there, but.
I mean, were you searching for other friends, or was it just were you just happy with one?
Like, I'm just happy with one.
Okay.
I don't like a crowd, so one was enough.
Of course.
So yeah, what happened? My birthday, was it 2019 or 2020? I can't remember what birthday. Probably 2020. We just went on live on my birthday and we just did a very nonsense video, like just saying how the birthday was, talking about the places that we went to and our experience, and we just posted it. And everyone was like, oh my god, you guys should do it again. and we had a few clips just from that live video that we did, and we just started posting it on her page, and it seemed to gain traction. And then every time that we had, I think we spent a lot of time towards that period because her birthday is like 2 weeks from mine.
Okay.
So we did a lot of recording and videoing and all of that during that time, and it seemed to really be interesting. We loved it ourselves.
Okay.
So we just do it now every time that we find an opportunity, and we're just kind of trying to make it something.
Okay, but really, it just came organically. You guys were just talking about
never
live.
planned.
Wow.
It was never ever planned. Even the name was literally just like, just came.
Chit Chat with Ed. I mean, is her name Ed as well, or is it just you?
Chit Chat with E&D. It's just because
E&D.
E&D. It's just because on Instagram you can't use special features.
Got you.
So it's just Chit Chat with Ed, but it's not just me. It's E&D.
E&D. Oh, okay.
E&D.
But it's basically it's based on Instagram alone. You don't have it on YouTube, do you?
No.
Will you transition?
Maybe. We'll see. She's very busy. We live in different cities, and we can't always move back and forth like that because of living. So
of course.
So we're starting. Let's see. We're trying to be more intentional. Like, let's create time. I'm gonna come to London. You're gonna come here.
Okay.
We're gonna record. We're gonna upload and try to like be more hands-on. But we'll see where it goes. Maybe it's gonna go to YouTube. It's now on TikTok.
Nice.
We'll see.
So, you said you're on TikTok now. You're on Instagram. There may be at some point YouTube.
Yeah, we might do a podcast version as well.
Podcast. So you do see it, I guess, translating and growing bigger at some point to.
At some point.
But it's still going to be the core of just both of you discussing your lives.
Yeah.
Discussing different parts of what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully we're still friends because obviously.
yeah, true. When you start making money with people, the relationship changes.
I don't wish for that, but obviously if we have a fallout, then what happens to Chit Chat? But I don't see that happening. If it's happening, I hope I can remind myself to not be the cause of it. Yeah, because in some way it kind of also like fosters our friendship. Because no matter how busy life can get, we now would make an intentional effort to just make sure that we're seeing each other, make sure that we're doing things together, because our show would be about our life while we're here. So
that's really good. One of your more famous topics was about dating. I guess the differences of dating in Cameroon, dating in the UK, and I think for your friend dating in Nigeria as well.
No, she didn't.
She didn't. Oh, where did she grow up? Sorry. Namibia. Oh, sorry. I think it was someone else. So yeah, the differences of dating in Cameroon and UK. Could you mention like a few? I don't know, just to like.
Well, dating in Cameroon is not even called dating.
Okay.
When you're dating in Cameroon, you're in a relationship. It's not.
So getting to know someone is considered you're in a relationship.
No, what you guys define as dating. If I in Cameroon go back and say I'm dating this guy, I'm in a relationship with this guy. But if I'm talking to a UK person, they would think we're just going on dates or we're just getting to know each other. So that's one difference that I had to learn what dating is. Because I don't think we have a term for that period when you're getting to know each other. You just, I don't know, you're just chatting, and then you're suddenly in a relationship. It's not defined like the way it's defined in the Western world. There's the attraction. He calls you out a few times to go somewhere and have dinner or lunch or whatever.
And he gets you an Uber from your place if he's not driving. We
don't have Ubers in Cameroon.
Huh?
We don't have Ubers in Cameroon.
You don't have Ubers?
No.
So how does he get you to your place if he doesn't have a car?
A taxi.
He gets a taxi?
A normal taxi.
Okay, sorry. He gets you a taxi to your place.
Or he pays for your taxi to come and meet him wherever he is. Obviously, it's not every single guy in Cameroon.
But most. But it's a culture.
It's kind of like a thing.
It's a thing.
It's kind of like a thing, yeah. It's not also a thing to be ready to pay for the date as a girl. he's not
Really?
for everything. Yeah, it's not really. I think maybe now the new generation,
Okay.
they're kind of like being more
Let's go
aware
half
of
and half.
like, yeah, not really half and half, but let me just have my money, or just because you never know.
Okay.
But in my time,
So did you
you're not
prefer dating in
expecting.
Cameroon than compared to dating in the UK?
There's no preference. You have to.
For you personally?
I don't think I have a preference.
Because obviously here, if you're going out with a guy, the intention is okay. You get to the place. I mean, obviously if I have a car, I'll come get you. But you get to the place. Maybe on the first date, if I ask you, I'm more likely to pay. The second time, I would maybe expect you to like maybe offer or something like that. And then obviously we take it on from there. But it does seem like in Cameroon the guy is very much so driving, which I guess
Yeah, it's still very traditional.
it's quite
Like
traditional.
he does everything. Everything.
So y'all just sit there being wooed.
Even
Just
when
says,
you
"Yeah,
guys,
okay."
even when you guys are in a relationship, I think the guy still does everything. At some point, maybe if it's the understanding of your relationship, then you would like invite you, say, initiate a date to go out. But it's usually still just on the. I can't even remember any time. Probably once or twice, but like every time else, it is.
Really?
It probably has changed.
I mean, I guess if it works for you, it works for you.
I'm still gonna say it's about where I
Okay.
lived.
Okay.
So who knows what
It may
other
be
people
different story
do
for someone else.
in
Okay.
other cultures, but with the people I surrounded myself with, and with how the dating sphere was, it really always fell on the guy.
Interesting. So, how are you handling the fame of Chit Chat with END?
There's no fame. What do you mean fame?
The fame, people getting to know you, people seeing you, people recognize you out in the streets. When you go out and
no, because Jupa and I obviously have very different groups of friends. She has more friends here because I don't know. There's probably like a migration of a bunch of them in their sector where she works, but so many of them know me through her. Those are the only people that I would say I've met, and it's been some sort of like a fun experience because they only see me on her page, then I hear their feedback from her, like they like.
As well as from the comment section, but obviously you hear it from.
No, the comment section is mostly just people that we don't know. It's always people that we don't know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I literally don't know. Probably 99% of the people that comment.
Oh, okay. But you haven't actually met someone from outside who only knows you from the page, apart from her friends?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I think the bulk of our following is South Africa, Namibia, and Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the UK people would be people that we know or people that have a link to those countries.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've only met her friends. They've good feedback, obviously. I'm very shy, so they just come with some sort of vim. I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? But yeah, I don't think
that's actually a distinct part of your personality. You're very you're. I don't know if I can say shy, because I'm not sure if it's a shy, but I know you're very reserved. Like you can be in a place and no one will know you're there, not unless you actually want to be known. But when someone actually gets to know you, you're very different. So I don't know how is that, because I think we've spoken before, but I think you said you kind of developed it, obviously because you had a friend group that you was always consistent with, so you didn't really feel like you had to go out and meet new people, go out and mingle. How do you think that personality is serving you now? I guess
like
obviously
it.
You're working in more diverse.
I honestly like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just who I am now, and I enjoy it. Like I enjoy being able to just be alone, be in control of my peace or in control of my environment. And then if I feel like I'm missing out on any social interactions, I'll just go out and socialize for a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, and come back. I really enjoy being alone. Wow. I really do. I'm never lonely. I'm rarely ever
Really?
lonely. No. If I'm ever lonely, I'll literally call someone and be like, do you want to do something? But half of the time, with 99% of the time, I really like being alone.
That's interesting. Because I think for me, I have like I like to be social. So when I go out, I like to to talk, to make friends and all that stuff. But I do have a limit. So when I hit that limit, then I'm just quiet, and then I just want to leave, or I just want to do my own thing. I'll just be quiet. But then I do find times when I feel like I would like to be in a friend group, but I would never call anyone.
Okay.
But I would never like go, hey, you want to hang out? Hey, you want to do something? Because I'd always feel like, they're busy, they're doing something. So I'd really just call my wife and just say, hey, baby, you want to do something? Or I'll just go disturb her or something. You get me?
Yeah.
When I say I feel lonely, there are times when I feel like, yeah, I'd rather be chilling with someone than doing what I'm doing. Or I always feel like I want to be. Okay, so, kind of winding down now. Let me just ask you, a few of these questions that I feel like maybe some people may be actually waiting to hear. Do you feel like you know your purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you known?
I would say after I experienced loss, I had to be more. I never saw I don't know how to put it. Like, obviously, it was just going in the direction of scientists, get married, have kids. I would love to have a family. And yeah, but then after losing someone that I just couldn't ever imagine losing him, what the hell did I say losing? That I would never have imagined losing. It's just kind of like, okay, hold on. This is actually life. You can't just be living life. Like, you can't just be existing in the life that you have. Do something. And
that's
I
the
think
intention
especially because of the way I lost this person and just the cascade of things that happened after that. And one of the core things was me losing every single memory that I had with the person, like physical videos, pictures. Wow. I had nothing to look back on. I was like, wait, what? No, what's going on? I need to.
Is this why you take a lot of pictures?
Yeah. I'm always capturing every single memory experience, especially people that are very important to me. Like,
we haven't taken a picture together.
Calm down.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. So everything that I feel like right now, I'm feeling something. I'm feeling joy. I'm feeling anything. I want to look back on it. So I take pictures and memories with all my friends, and yeah, I just really live in the moment now rather than just living through the moment.
Wow, that's
and
good.
Try to create them if they're not happening. Just create them. So in as much as I like being alone, when those moments where I feel like I should be doing something or let me try and do something, I would push myself and go out and do it or interact.
That's really good. That's really good. Wow. I think it's one of those things I didn't notice until, thank God for me, it didn't come to the point of loss, but when I realized that I was watching life pass me by and I wasn't really taking part of it or, getting involved, that's when I was like, okay, listen, I need to actually start living. And the thing is, you don't really start living until you actually make the decision to start living. A lot of people are really just alive. They're not really living or enjoying the moment. So that's really deep. That's really good.
So in as much as say financial restraints, but if it's something that I know that I'm gonna enjoy, if it costs £500, I'm gonna spend the £500. But I'm a big saver. No, I'm a big saver. I'm very conscious about money. But if I know that when I look this way or I dress this way or buy this thing, what is gonna give me the joy or the memory I'm gonna create, I'm gonna spend the money.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna think about it.
Wow.
I would spend it. So I think that's the gift that I received from loss. And like I said, I made a promise to myself I'm gonna live for two. And hopefully I'm living for two.
That's really good. So what do you think your purpose is now? Apart from living for two, or do you think that's pretty much it?
No. It's just for myself. It's just for happiness, for peace, happiness, and just to have a better impact on the people around me. So it doesn't have to be deep. It could just be surface level. So whoever experiences me will probably have a good feeling and have a good memory to look back on. So it's just me, peace, happiness. My
So spreading peace,
definitely.
happiness wherever you find yourself.
My family definitely. So I wouldn't put myself in an environment if I know that I'm gonna just bring bad vibes.
Got
basically.
you. Got you.
Yeah. So if I'm coming into a social interaction, I'd rather be at my best self.
Okay.
And then retract if I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed.
Good life lessons. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Final question. What advice would you give to your younger self? You can choose whatever age range or whatever time. But what advice would you give to your younger self?
To listen.
Listen to who?
Myself.
Oh, listen to yourself. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. To listen to myself and myself only.
Only?
Yeah. Because it's just me. I've got me. And I'm always gonna just have me.
True, but you don't know everything though.
No. To listen to my, like, so many times we don't realize that we hold ourselves back. So if in situations where I felt like I should have pushed more or I should have not given up as easily, I should have been listening to myself. I have no regrets on my life at all. But I feel like if I was listening to myself more, then I would have been pushing myself more. So for now, in this
so it's more like a self-confidence thing, like trust yourself more. Like.
Not really. It's just more of a self-awareness.
Okay.
Yeah, like just listen to yourself more. Listen to how you're feeling. Listen to, just listen. Like take the time and just. So yeah, in this adulthood now, I feel like, you know what, this is who you are. You know yourself now. Listen to you more. If you're telling yourself, do this, you need to do this, or this would bring what you want, or do it. Don't shut down that voice.
Okay. It's interesting. Different. Ed, thank you very much for being on the show. This is really cool.
I'm just an everyday person.
Right? The name is pretty apt. Obviously not. You're one of those people who's you're going places, you're fame and stuff. You know?
Oh my god. It's like you really want to sponsor the show with this fame stuff.
I mean, why not?
But I don't see you liking or commenting. So
who
do you think is gonna make me famous? You think it's some other person?
I mean, okay, cool. We're gonna plug you. Don't worry. We're gonna plug your stuff. So Chit Chat with END. Go follow them on
on Instagram.
On Instagram and TikTok, right?
Yeah, Instagram is more structured. TikTok, we're getting there.
Okay, still building it. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate you. Hopefully we can get you back again.
To come and say what again?
I mean, so the thing is, obviously you're just an everyday person, yes? But next year, who knows where you could be, or who knows what, life lessons you may have. You understand? So I guess we're still always evolving, so it's one of those things that just, like you mentioned, capturing moments. I just like to say, okay, so where are you now? What do you think you've learned up to this point? Okay, in a year's time, what do you think, you would have learned?
I'll be married and pregnant.
Right? Okay, let's speak it.
And trying to get married. Whichever one comes first.
Okay, speak it into existence.
Whichever voice I listen to.
Speak it into existence. Alright, cool, awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. Appreciate you. So guys, please, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Please like, comment, and if you really like this, subscribe to the show. We're going to have much more conversations, so please stick around. See you guys.